Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today's Thursday, February 23rd. Actually, it's Friday. Friday. Damn it, why can't I keep it consistent with the show notes? I am just pooped. And we didn't even do intro music. I'm just jumping right in. We'll do everything in post. This is episode 218. And we're calling this one, very tentatively, Fart Sauce and Barking Dogs. Because that's very relevant. Right at this moment, you can't hear the dog. I'm sure they'll start barking again for no reason whatsoever. Someone might say, "Oh, just train them well." No, dogs are assholes. People say cats are assholes. No, dogs are bigger assholes. Trust me on this. I love all animals, but my preference for cats definitely prevails right now. Anywho, this is gonna be another quickie tonight, and didn't want to miss a week. We gotta keep the streak going. Haven't missed a week yet. And, I'm just going to rant a little bit tonight. For those that are new in the show, this is definitely not the usual format. It hasn't been the usual format for a few weeks. What is this show about? It's a geeky show. It's not safe for work, not safe for kids. But I think above all, it's primarily, I guess, a comedy show. I think at least once an episode, you might chuckle a little bit and maybe tinkle yourself slightly, possibly. But, hi. I'm Yogizilla, your bald bear lizard host, and this is another episode of HorsePLAY Live. We're gonna do it. I'm doing it solo because I've kind of just been trying to get in the recording when I can, rather than try to resurrect the dead and coordinate everything. And it's hard. It's hard. People got their own things going on. So it's mostly I want to take ownership. It's mostly my fault that we haven't had other hosts, and it's kind of become the Yogi Chronicles. But Soon we'll break the streak and get back to business as usual. So tonight I want to talk about the fact that our dogs won't stop barking, except for now. I guess someone finally had the sense to say, stop it. But there's a random thing that started thinking about it. Lately, a lot, a lot of my friends have been getting dogs, and that's awesome, because there's a lot of, when I see strays in the street, it really breaks my heart. Because you think about it as like, that's a pet that someone got, and then it became too much work, and they couldn't bother, and they just let it loose in some other neighborhood. That's what a lot of people do. They'll go to these other neighborhoods, drop off their pets that they don't want anymore, and then move on. Because if they go to a shelter, they got to pay fees and all this stuff, and they don't want to do that. And they don't want to feel like total losers, so just drop it, throw them out into the wild. Why not? With cats, I guess you could get away with that, right? Because cats are pretty good surviving on their own. They climb stuff, but a dog, that's just terrible. I mean, you shouldn't do it to any pet. I mean, it's just if you can't handle the responsibility, don't do it to begin with it. It's not a toy. It's not a status symbol. It's not something to pass your boredom away until something better comes along. It's like having a kid. You don't have a kid and then go, this isn't really for me. I'm gonna just stop doing this. Well, the sad part is there's a lot of parents, a significant portion that are like that. They just mentally check out or completely abandon their kids. And then the remainder, there's a good portion that just are on autopilot. Oh, let me just plop a Blu-ray in. Oh, not even that. Let me just turn on Hulu. Let me just turn on Netflix, and then there's my babysitter. That's the quality time. Yay! That's gonna make you a wonderful Tide Pod eating contributor to society. Awesome. I'm a little cranky today. A little sleep deprived. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Another thing that bothers me, people will pay top dollar to buy a dog. I hear this all the time. You rarely hear people talking about buying a cat, unless it's like exotic cat, like a Savannah or I forgot what some of the other ones are. They got a hairless cat or Egyptian temple cat, something exotic, right? I don't know, a Mancoon, who knows? I don't know. Just throwing shit out there. And I get it. It's an investment, so mentally you say, I'm paying this money, so now I'm more committed But then that's less money you can spend on vet bills, and that could be the equivalent, if not more, of what you pay to buy a pet, right? But the thing that I do have a bit of a problem, and to all my friends that do it, hey, no offense to you, this is my personal belief, but I try to steer clear of buying pets from breeders. And there's an exception if they come with papers, where they're official, they're doing everything by the book. They're it's proven that they have good living conditions for their pets, and they're not just overbreeding a dog. You see all these these bitches with like freaking super huge fupas that are just dragging from here to China because they keep breeding them and breeding them and breeding them, and it's like, Jesus, that's not good. That's not good for the dogs. And another thing, a lot of these so-called breeders inbreed. That's how they get these toy breeds and all that shit, which is actually genetic defects, genetic issues. Where these animals could end up going blind and having renal failure, all kinds of stuff. Just so you can have a novelty. Oh, this one's a super tiny micro dog. You see, it's on the tip of my pinky. Cool, huh? That's 5 generations of inbreeding. We finally got this. Shit like that. It's crazy. So, it's something that bothers me. It's like, go to a shelter, or if you can handle it, pick up a rescue. I'll be honest, a lot of our pets, the majority of them have been strays, rescues, because they need a home more than anything else. So, and I think as long as we keep supporting breeders when there's perfectly good pets that need a home, we're kind of becoming part of the problem. We're encouraging them to keep, churning out this product and making money off of the suffering of these animals. So be careful with these puppy mill type operations. There's a lot of them out there. So when they say they're a breeder, they better give you some paperwork. There better be a certain pedigree. If you're paying for that, that it needs to be subject to substantiate why you're paying X amount for an animal. And I don't think just saying, oh, it's an exotic breed. This is an expensive breed. People usually have to buy these dogs. And I'm like, yeah. You gotta be careful with that. So that's my grumpy old man rant of the evening. Oh no, I'm not done yet. The other thing is the Szechuan sauce stuff. It keeps cropping up. And it's not even the funniest part of Rick and Morty, Szechuan sauce. This is something they mention like maybe twice in every episode ever. In all the episodes ever of Rick and Morty, they mention Szechuan sauce once, maybe twice. But it's either that or fucking, what is it, Pickle Rick? That wasn't even that great either. It's actually kind of disturbing even. But I guess it's memorable. Again, Tide Pod eating generation. So now I guess McDonald's is bringing back Szechuan sauce in select locations to test it out in regional markets and see if it's something they should do nationwide. That's interesting. That part's cool. But I always feel dirty being a Rick and Morty fan because I really like it. And now I'm just like a hipster. I liked it before it was cool, but now that so many people like it, it's like you realize how annoyed the diehard fans are, jumping up on tables and shouting expletives and random shit from Rick and Morty. And it's like the douchebaggery never ends. It never ends. Also, fart. And I thought about this very carefully. This will probably be my closing thought. I said it's a quickie, it's going to be a quickie. But think about it. What's a funnier word to just eject randomly into certain moments in life? Fart or poop? I'm kind of torn. I like both of them. What is it? Last Man on Earth? You know, whenever he was in trouble, he'll go fart. You know, that cracks me up. Guess I'm a little sophomoric, I'm a little juvenile in that regard. Fart. I lost my train of thought. Speaking of which, you know, so I struggle with certain issues. Part of it is from putting the needs of others ahead of myself, and the other part is just being stubborn and not wanting to do things that I should. Because you know, quite frankly, like I'm in search for a new doctor, new PCP, someone that has good bedside manner. My previous doctor, which I haven't got to in years, get it? You know, again, I'm stubborn. Is pretty much, he's in network, but he's not. There's a premium attached. It's very weird the way healthcare plans are. You know, it's like, oh, you could go to any doctor in these that are affiliated with these hospitals, but if they're operating out of this or that, and like just going, I used to be able to just go to like a prop care or urgent care. Yeah, there was a higher copay, but it was like, I don't know, $15-$30. You know, a little bit more than what you would pay. You know, hospital visits either free or really dirt cheap, and then you pay for your meds, right? And now, you know, the Unaffordable Health Care Act has made everything even less affordable. Go figure. Affordable Health Care Act, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Wink. Again, to that I say fart. Just fart. Fart and rainbows. Farting rainbows. Oh, that'd be a good talent to have. Yeah. So you know, vets are also, that's another thing. Finding a good vet is hard too, because bedside manner is, you know, people that actually care. You know, they're either in it for the science or for the money, but they're not really in it for the people. You know, it's like it's very hard to find someone that gives a shit. You know, or they have their own agenda. I don't want to go to the doctor and they tell me what I already know. Hey, you smoke, so that's part of the problem. Oh, well, you're overweight, so that's part of the problem. Well, you know, can you do, you know, run some tests and, you know, maybe connect the dots, identify a pattern, and then tell me what you think, not just by looking at me, you know, go through a flip chart and say, oh, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, look at your belly, you're fat. Okay, thanks. I don't even try anymore, you know. Say, spin the wheel. This is your prognosis. This is your diagnosis or whatever. Yep. Okay. Good luck. It's so difficult. You're fat and a smoker. That's right. That's why there needs to be that should be my invention. Just a Captain Obvious buzzer that you could just keep in your pocket and just like push it. Or people say something that's completely obvious. Maybe it could just be a simple, I don't know, something really irritating, so they can see how irritated you are by their stupidity. Thank you. So yes. Anyway, all that to say, so you know, one of the issues that I struggle with is sleep apnea. So CPAPs and all this stuff. The problem with it is you gotta find a mask that fits. You gotta, it's awkward. It's a pain in the ass. So then I'm looking at other things. They have these non-prescription snoring aids, which now they're equating snoring more and more as synonymous with sleep apnea, especially if you're diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea, which is what I have. But it's kind of scary because, you know, you think about it with sleep apnea, you know, not only do you barely get real sleep because you barely get any REM sleep, if any at all, right? You know, you wake up repeatedly throughout the night. You didn't realize you're doing it because you're choking, or, you know, you stop breathing altogether. And then now they're saying that, you know, and my better half, of course, made me feel warm and fuzzy. Was saying, oh yeah, you know, they're saying that this is very, very conclusive data that points to sleep apnea being a leading cause of Alzheimer's. And my paranoid old man brain is like, shit, that explains a lot, because I've been having a lot of foggy brain lately. Like, I'll say, all right, let me just go over here and do this thing. And I'll narrate my life. So, like, as I'm going to my destination, I'll remember what I'm doing. And then I'm like, Then I get to my destination. I'm like, so what did I come here for again? Like walk up to the fridge, and then you open it, and you realize you've been holding the fridge open for a minute. It's like, yeah, I was going to grab something from here. So I'm just going to write that off to, like, being really tired. And that's just having the Alzheimer's setting, because that's not cool. Not cool at all. I need to start doing some more Sudoku puzzles and multiplication tables and take the ginkgo biloba, whatever this shit is, as a burp, to, like, help me with my memory. I think macadamia nuts are good for that too. Oh, Discord, eh? Al Jabad. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't have headphones, so there may be an echo.
Okay, it's fine. This is a very off episode. I didn't even like play music. I just jumped right into it. I was like, fuck the intro music. It's gonna be a quickie for all the ages.
Well, yeah, you can put that in post.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, put it in post. Screw the live audience. You just hum it in your head. Same thing for you fine folks at YouTube. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit the video.
First 5 to 8 minutes anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. You gotta warm up the channel first.
They missed the ramblings and the kicking off of the rust.
What? The rats has pretty much been everything as of late.
Yeah, every time I go to jump into the stream when it's on, it's over. It's like, wow, so just 20 minutes and then you're out? Alright. That's how it is.
Well, that's only been like the last couple of weeks. It hasn't been like that long. I know, because I had to edit them, and then they're usually an hour or so.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But I got like a short. I think either one of the dogs or one of the cats has been nibbling on my headphone cord. Say something.
No.
Why do you sound all robotic? How about now?
It might be the poor internet connection that I have, or the $5 microphone that I'm using.
Okay, so it might be you. Okay, good.
Yeah, it might just be me. This is a low quality microphone on internet that I'm probably picking up from the office across the street from where I work.
Oh, nice. Now you're using a pirate signal to broadcast.
That's because Discord is blocked in my work network.
Oh. Weren't you doing some cockamamie shit where you're like using the VPN or something?
I tried that, but they've upgraded the firewalls because there were some issues, so those ports got closed down.
Damn it. Even SSL VPN?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff got locked down real tight.
How about Hamachi?
I don't know what that is.
Chances are they won't either.
I don't know. I generally assume that the information security people are smarter than I am, so.
Yeah. I don't know what I can say there because I'm one of those people, and I know I miss a lot of stuff. There's just so many aspects of security. There's no way you can get everything.
Well, yeah. Especially with the backdoors that are in every computer chip in existence now.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, to have total security, you'd have to completely forgo productivity.
Hey, you know what total security is? Total security are the computers that run the nukes. They run on DOS. They're all from 1992. None of them are connected to the internet.
Yep. And you need a 5 1/4 inch disc. You need a big old floppy to work it.
Yeah, the actual floppies, not the little diskettes that were hard.
That's what she said.
Little diskettes.
Hey, have you ever been to I remember another thing I want to talk about tonight. Have you been to a cookout before? The restaurant, not a cookout as a barbecue.
No,
Have you ever heard of it?
no, but I don't think that's a northern thing.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to find out. Is where it started. It seems very distinctly southern. All right, so according to this, if we could trust the internet, Cookout is an American privately owned fast food restaurant chain in North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Mississippi, and Maryland. It was founded in Greensboro, North Carolina in 1989. The chain has since expanded and now has drive-through restaurants in over 100 cities. Damn, it's expanded that much? Many locations spread throughout Virginia. Anyway, they got a lot of stuff here. So, you know, what I like about it is for a fast food place, they should really nail the kind of cookout vibe because all the food has that like nice smoky grill flavor. You know, everything's charbroiled or flame broiled. It's pretty darn good.
See, I don't do fast food anymore, so
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
the only fast food I'll do will be Taco Bell if I'm running late and on my way to work.
Do you enjoy barbecue food? Do you like doing barbecue, grilling out?
My father-in-law owns a barbecue restaurant, smokehouse.
Oh. Do you yourself enjoy doing cookouts?
Yeah, I just don't have the time ever to do it, which sucks.
Yeah. I know how that is. We had a really good propane grill that we were barely using, and we ended up giving to one of our neighbors because he had like this shitty little barrel that he kind of rigged up. And I'm like, I really miss that grill. But on the flip side, I still, you know what? I kind of think charcoal is still the way to go for flavor.
Wood.
What?
Use wood.
Wood is good too, yes. Wood chips are good too. But the point is, it has to be smoky, and the gas doesn't give you that nice smoke. That's kind of the problem. Now, if they get propane to where you could get that kind of flavor, I guess they could have like a little drawer where you could put wood chips in, you know, and get that flavor.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, but propane's just for speed and efficiency.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot easier to control the hot zones, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of part of the fun of grilling is knowing where you got the best heat and then rotating stuff out, you know. Or just being the master at starting to grill perfectly. Which
a little bit of lighter fluid and throw a match in. Right?
Yeah, sure. Matching the gas tank, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know, another random thought. I got one of the little ones, a highlights magazine, to see what they're like now.
Those still exist?
Yes. Here's the sad part. There's no like Where's Waldo, and it's dreadfully thin. It's like a third of what it used to be, if even that. And then what's worse is there's barely any activities in it. It's all reading stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of agree with that, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, You have to have the fun stuff and then sprinkle in the educational stuff. But it's
Yeah,
just like,
mix a little of both in there.
yeah, but it's like 90%, 95% stories and stuff you read, and then like a few activities. They have maybe like
Oh yeah,
one spot the difference, one find the things in this picture that are hidden. Um, then they had something that was kind of like Where's Waldo, but kind of depressing because it wasn't as good. Like they
they
weren't even
figured
trying.
maybe their target audience now, since everything's gotten a lot smaller and more condensed through all their market research, they decided that this is the stuff that plays up well and went with that.
So they basically made the Vine equivalent of highlights.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
yeah, 7 second comedy.
That is very, very depressing. I don't, oh God, this is sad. But they're still doing it, so that's there's something to be said about that.
They could just keep reprinting the old magazines and send them out and no one would notice. It's like every 5 years, just turn it around and keep going. Just like the zoo books.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember
Those
those.
still exist. I see
Yeah,
ads for them.
yeah. They did the dinosaur books too, and did you ever do? Did your schools ever do the Scholastic book service where you order stickers and books and shit
They still
from?
do that. My daughter gets one of those every 2 months at her school.
Oh, cool. Okay, so there's still places doing that.
Yes. She has like a 5 foot stack of books next to her bed. She's read through all of them. We just keep ordering new books every couple of months for her.
See, that's cool. And I think what was great about it is sometimes you forget that you had placed that order, right? And then one day suddenly everybody's super excited because the teacher has a box of stuff in the front. You're like, oh snap! Or you're really looking forward to it. You don't forget it's coming, and it just makes you look forward to every day. Like maybe this is the day when it comes in, or maybe this is the day when it comes in. Because sometimes they were
They
like,
also do. They also do book fairs with the Scholastic, so they'll have the order form for the books that you can order, and then they'll fill up like the gymnasium with racks upon racks of books and stuff.
nice.
So it's like, hey, send your kid with $20, and they'll come back with a whole bunch of stuff.
That's pretty awesome. So some things are better now, so that's good.
Yeah, some things don't really, as much as technology keeps pushing ahead, some things don't really change.
Yeah, because nothing beats cracking open a new book. Reading on Kindle or whatever is not the same. It's convenient, but a lot of the magic is lost.
Yeah, I don't have to charge a book.
Well, yeah, that too. That's definitely a big thing. And you don't get the new book smell. I bet you someone will come up with that. This attachment generates new book smell.
So
Smell-o-vision.
just paper.
It's an
You just
attachment. It's an
buy a ream
attachment.
of paper and just shake it in front of your face for a minute.
That'd be great if that was actually marketed, a real paper marketed as a ebook accessory. Can you imagine if Apple put that out? People would eat it up.
I think that the Apple meme is finally jumping that shark.
Yeah.
They finally have exhausted all the goodwill that Steve Jobs built up in that company.
Well, yeah. They're not. They're stopping production on the Apple 10, right?
Yeah, it didn't sell as well as they hoped it would.
The
Because
iPhone 10,
guess
I
what?
mean.
Because guess what?
Too
What did Steve
expensive?
Jobs? What did Steve? No, it wasn't the price. Price point wasn't the problem. But what did Steve Jobs not want to do with the iPhone that Android was doing in spades?
Putting headphone jacks.
Nah, the headphone jack thing is dead. That's a dumb meme. Headphone jacks are stupid on cell phones. You don't need it. Buy a pair of Bluetooth headphones.
No,
Yes.
the
buy
whole
Bluetooth.
convenience of having. I don't want a paper thin phone that I drop and it'll simply crack. And two,
Now,
having a headphone jack is great because if you can't find your Bluetooth headphones, chances are you have a shit ton of headphones floating around.
yeah, and there's an adapter that you can use for that.
Oh Jesus.
But the thing is, Bluetooth headphones are that that's the future. That's ubiquitous. They're everywhere. You can buy a pair of them for $5 on Amazon, and they'll be here tomorrow. But that's not what they did that was wrong. What they did that was wrong was they split their product base.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. They should have just stuck
Steve
to
didn't want that.
one product that's the flagship and that's it.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
had the iPhone 8, which I have, the 8 Plus, and then the X, which came out a month later. So anyone that wanted a new phone bought the 8 or the 8 Plus. And
Yeah.
then a month later, it's now $1,500 is kind of silly for a phone.
Kind
But-
of.
Even the Android phones are getting to be that price.
Yeah.
The flagship Samsung ones are getting to that price as well. So
Yeah.
in
No.
the world, when you think about what the phone can do and all the internals on it, makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Apple going forward is going to be, what do they do with this Mac Pro that's coming out this year? How customizable is that going to be?
Yeah.
Because the iMac Pro, I priced it out for the maxed out iMac Pro that's like $13,000. To build an equivalent PC, it would be $11,000. So
Okay.
you're just paying extra for it to, you're paying a little bit more for it to look pretty. So you're actually getting what you're paying for with an Apple product. Shocking.
Whoa.
But the Mac Pro that's coming out, if it's just a tower motherboard, and then you have these X, Y, and Z parts available that you can purchase, or you can go aftermarket and buy your own fucking GTX 1080 Ti and throw it in there.
They should just make a proprietary all-in-one system so you can't use a third-party monitor. Maybe they could like put all the internals inside the monitor itself. Like maybe it could look like partially like a microwave or something, you know? And maybe they could call it like, I don't know, something snazzy like iMac. There we go.
See, they have the iMac I like. The Mac Pro will be interesting because if they go away from the trash can that they put out that wasn't customizable at all, and the fact that they didn't upgrade the internals on it and sold it for the same price 4 years later,
Oof.
that's kind of,
Yeah, that's a slap in the face.
yeah, it's like, no, we're not doing that.
I actually have a legit funny Apple story that I experienced today. So I took my vehicle in to the dealership to do routine maintenance. You know, I'm actually being responsible. You know, because most problems happen because you don't bother to keep with the routine maintenance. You know, so then shit blows apart because you don't replace seals and gaskets and little doohickeys and whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try to keep up with that stuff. And I also had like this really random issue that made no sense, but not even get into that. So I took care of all that. It's all covered. Didn't have to pay anything out of pocket, so that was great. But I had to like just hang around for a little bit. They do have a shuttle, but I didn't want to bother with that, so I just hung out and just chatted with this old black dude that had a lot of great stories. But then we got into talking, and this like girl, like everybody else was sitting down in the lobby in the waiting area with like inside of these little cushy chairs, right? just hanging out, and like this one like stuck up girl was on a high table in a high chair by herself with her white headphones in and on her with her shiny MacBook Pro. And I was paying her no mind until I kept feeling like laser beams burning into me, and she just kept looking at me and like staring and like just with like this like snooty air to her. I'm like, and then I saw the computer and I say, oh, an Apple person. There you go. It says explains it all. So I all made a joke that Apple people are really stuck up. No offense to present party included, but like diehard Apple people are kind of turds. They end up being kind of like arrogant assholes.
I'm arrogant. I'm an asshole. I'm an elitist. I'm a gatekeeper. That's fine. I know
But
what I am.
but here's the thing though. So she kept like staring at me, and then eventually I just ignored her. So I just threw in a little jab because it somehow just naturally came in to the conversation. What was it he was talking about? Like the old dude was talking about how phones are so expensive now. It's ridiculous. Like he doesn't get how an iPhone could cost over $1,000. It's like he just wants a phone he could pick up and call someone with. He doesn't need it to freaking scratch his back and do his taxes for him. And then I said no, but that's what people want. I mean, they want more Apple stuff. I mean, Apple can make a turd and put their logo on it and call it the iTurd, and people will buy it. And hand over fist, take my money, please. And I don't know if I prompted her to do that, but suddenly she closed her MacBook and put it away and sat down on the level with the rest of us. I just thought that was funny. She was like, "Oh, my status symbol is not impressing anybody. I'm gonna put it away now and then come back with the other heathens on ground level."
See, I think that's the difference with most people and that upper tier Mac level of asshole is they use it as a status symbol, whereas I use it as a tool.
Yeah, and those are the people that I take the jabs at. The people that think that what they're doing is really cool. It's like, no, I actually think you're a fool because you're paying more for something that isn't really worth more, in my opinion. But if you think that makes you look cool, great. I just think you're stupid. Like, you can make an argument for other things that have prestige to them, like high-end watches, like a Tag Heuer. I would probably consider a Tag Heuer before I would a Rolex. I think Rolex is way too expensive. Tag Heuer is more doable, and that's a timepiece that you could pass on from generation to generation. You know what I mean?
A Rolex is a legitimate status symbol. That is all it is.
Yeah, and there's no pretense to it. That's what it is.
There's no oh, it has some type of functionality. No, it's a $10,000 watch.
Yeah. But a Tag Heuer, lifetime guarantee. They'll always fix it for you. They'll always replace the battery, whatever you need, and it's something you can pass along generation to generation. It's not nearly as exact as you could get pretty cheap Tag Heuers, so I can justify that in my mind. It's a nice timepiece. Does it keep time better? Yeah, maybe a little bit. People always joke, no, it tells the same time. Well, actually, no, because shitty watches will lag behind here and there, by a few seconds here and there. But who's synchronizing the watches? Like, oh, you're off by a millisecond. Sorry, buddy. But that aside, that's one of the things I think about, because I say, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite. So what are some things that I could justify to myself, or I have justified to myself? There's certain places where you can say, all right, I'm treating myself, But this is like a lifestyle for some people. It's like everything has to be Apple so people can know that I am the best. And that's when it goes too far.
It more becomes everything has to be Apple because it all just works together way too well.
Well, yeah, there's that argument too. Like there's definitely a lot of people that they get sucked into the ecosystem by the iPhone, or they get their first MacBook, and then now they're trapped, right? And maybe they don't want to take a risk anywhere else, right? Because trying something new is scarier than sticking with what you know. I get that too. That's a fair argument.
And once you get everything working the way you want it to, you don't want to introduce something new and fuck it up.
Yeah, No, it's true. And for the same reason that you know, hold on, I just disconnected my headphone, so I won't hear you like a boss. There you go. I got you back. But it's like the Microsoft ecosystem. What's that?
Microsoft ecosystem? There isn't one.
There is, believe it or not, there actually is. And I'm not being a fanboy, but like they fucked up completely with Windows 8. That was an abortion. And let's not even talk about that. And the Zune, bad timing. If they came out with the Zune sooner, they could have had market share. You could also argue that the Windows.
The Zune was excellent. The Zune had functions to it that legitimately were leagues ahead of what the iPhone or the iPod was doing. Being able to set up your own live editable playlist.
Yep. Which is kind of what Spotify and some other services are doing now. So they kind of set the stage for a lot of folks. But like the Windows Phone, we've had a few of them in our household, and they're actually really good phones. But again, you're in a marketplace that really can't support any more players than it has right now. So,
I don't.
You don't think so?
I agree, and I don't. I think hardware-wise, yeah, there could be more players. Software, OS-wise, probably not. I think it's boiled down to the two, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what BlackBerry encounters. Like, well, we have good apps, and people like our phones, but the software, the actual operating system, not so much. So,
I think Windows phones they came in late, and I think they latched onto the wrong hardware companies.
I see right here, right now in the chat, we got someone that's very near and dear. This is very near and dear to her, and she knows all about it because she's worked in that world. I won't blow up your spot though, girl, but I know you know firsthand. All right, go ahead, bro.
Those they didn't train the developers. Yeah, because they didn't have. When it came to app support, they had nothing. So nothing that would have to be the case. The dev kits weren't up to snuff, and if the OS just was annoying and incompatible.
Yeah. Well, that's two places where Microsoft really fails is having uniform messaging across all their touch points, and then having the support piece that really completes the ecosystem. Like for Xbox, I love Xbox, but the fact that the support team is pretty much mostly folks that work from home and take inbound calls from home and have no ability to escalate the issue or talk with the people that can actually change things. So basically, all they could do is read a script and tell you, "Sorry, there's nothing we could do." You know, that's terrible. Like for example, bans are almost completely automated now. So if the system bans you for no good reason and you try to challenge it, oh well. That's crazy.
That's how all social media is now.
Yep.
That's how all YouTube stuff is. It's all handled by the algorithms and AI learning, which is garbage.
And that's the scary reality. All right, we can automate a lot of that stuff, but you always need to have human checks and balances to make sure when there actually is a problem, it's not just people belly aching. Oh, you caught me hacking. Now I'm a butt hurt. When there's a legitimate concern, then you have to be able to undo that stuff or go back and tweak the algorithm. There needs to be a rapid response to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but with YouTube, like they're saying in chat, you have to have a big enough channel to get a person. And
yeah.
And some of the bigger channels don't get people. Like you look at Casey Neistat. Took him like 3 weeks to get a person to respond to him about demonetizing one of his videos that he was giving away everything to charity.
Mm. See, that's crazy. That's just bonkers. But back to the Microsoft ecosystem. So they have the whole Azure thing, right? Then just in Office 365 alone, all those apps that come as part of your Office 365 subscriptions, there's a shit ton of stuff in there that people don't even realize exists. You can say some of it's redundant, like Microsoft Teams and Yammer. Fine, I could give you that. But like they're giving away all this functionality that people only use a small portion of it. Like for example, Power BI. Power BI does stuff that you usually have to pay for anywhere else with something like Domo or Click or what's another good one? I forget the other one. Oh, Crystal Reports, Crystal Dashboards. Because sometimes all you want to do is just take some simple data and make some quick charts, some quick visual aids, and to be done with it. That's a free tool you get with that. Where if you went through SAP and you got Crystal Dashboards or whatever else they're pimping out these days, you'd be paying a buttload. So you want to be able to create that? No problem. You just got to get this license. Oh, but you want to be able to schedule those to be sent out automatically to people on the list. Okay, yeah, you have to get that server side function. There's a license for that, and that's monthly. And then for each person you want to receive it, that's another per seat license. Oh, but once you get to a certain level, you have to upgrade your server. So that's a new server license. I mean, the freaking pricing structure is ridiculous. Microsoft actually has to a point where it is still kind of complicated, but it's far better than some of this other shit out there.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, they have companies by the balls because it's like, are you gonna write your own programs? No. Are you gonna are you gonna pay a system administrator to do all this, or are you just gonna pay us what you would pay for a system administrator to do it for you per year?
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, so that's a good point because when you look at like the total cost of ownership, this kind of diminishing returns after a while, right? Like where you have on-premise stuff, there's an initial investment, and once you get it kind of running itself, it's very little maintenance, and if you do it right, you may not have to touch it much at all. So the administrative overhead goes down. So eventually, there's a point where you break even, and then if it keeps running, you actually kind of make it profitable, right? With the cloud, with all this software as a service stuff, the cloud-based stuff, it's great, but it's just pure overhead, and it's never gonna be a way to lower it. So the only way you can justify it is saying, well, we don't have to pay these people to babysit it, and someone else is accountable for it. So that's part of the very reason why with these kind of models, especially Microsoft, they're packing so much shit, so much value into it, but the average person not taking advantage even 20% of that shit, maybe at best.
Well, yeah, most of them are just using Office 360 for the mail and use of Office. It's like instead of having to pay the license for Word and Excel and all that bullshit.
Yep. And the thing that still is crazy, you notice that the one thing, how when you get with certain sub levels with Office 365, you'll get the desktop version, and then you also get the online version of everything, right? But Vizio is still kind of like in its own little thing. It's an add-on subscription you have to get, and it's all online now. I think only with like a certain plan.
I really get annoyed with the software as a service model, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to just pay the money out and own the program like I used to. Like it started with the Adobe Creative Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I fought against that. I still will not upgrade to CC. Never will. At least until it's no longer supported on my computers. But if they're going to just keep moving everything to software as a service and everything's subscription based and no one physically owns it anymore, they can just turn it off on you at any time, and I'm not a fan of it.
Exactly. That's the really scary part. That's the conversation no one wants to have. Like right now, the VP at our company, he's all about subscription stuff, and from a security perspective, from the management perspective, it's great, you know. But I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing: we're completely at their mercy. You know, at least with the MSP, if you're using their cloud services, you know, you still have a lot more control and visibility into it. So there's pros and cons, no matter, you know, no one can say that the software as a service thing is flawless, you know. But I definitely feel like there needs to always be some on-premise stuff. There always needs to be some options to just own something and pay for it outright. You know, having a forced subscription model, I don't like it either. So in the chat, someone over here saying, you know, tech in other countries is so retro 80s, right? That's where all our licenses are going. It's kind of true.
Retro 80s, most of the world, except for like Australia, has newer infrastructure and better internet capacity than the US.
Yeah.
It's not quite 80s. All of our stuff is hung on World War II phone lines and pretending that it's high speed.
Yeah, we're still like number 8 in the world in terms of internet infrastructure, which is sad.
I don't even think we're that high.
At one point we got that high though. I know that much. I'm scared to even look. By the way, if you didn't know, that's IB Loud. I don't know if you remember her. She changed her name to something I could barely pronounce. She said you should see this open source medical software that they can do home doctor visits from a food stamp SMS phone. Yeah. All kind of crazy stuff out there.
I'm not gonna no. Oh man.
We're opening up a can of worms.
I don't want to, but I want to.
No, because I promised our audience that this would be a quickie, and we're approaching the hour mark. Right. It's been a great conversation, though. But the really only thing I wanted to say with that whole string of tangents is that I'm actually very impressed. Microsoft has bounced back in a big way with what they're offering now. Now, really, the challenge will be to see what they hold on to, or if they pull a Google, right? They release all these great things and then eventually they abandon them, right? Because they have you ever heard of Sway?
No.
Good, and you and like 99% of the rest of the world. That's a tool they have that lets you make really easy interactive reports and presentations, and it's all, you know, drag and drop, you know, WYSIWYG type stuff, and it's actually pretty slick. Have you heard of Microsoft Forms?
Forms? Yeah, isn't that like just basic, like Google Docs polling type stuff?
Yep, pretty much. How about Flow?
That's that task automation?
Hey, Jesus, you know more than the average person. But I bet you most people, you ask them that, if you ask a room of like 100 people, maybe two or three people will raise their hands. She goes, "You're being funny, right?" I'm just making a point that outside of our present company, we're in a minority actually of people that actually know what those things are. You know, because it's kind of buried in there. They're not, you know, they're great tools, but they're not really pervasive just yet. And oh yeah, and I'd be loud saying that basically, she's saying it's a replacement for a publisher and Vizio. Though I don't see Vizio being replaced. It still feels like it does things better than a lot of other stuff. Because you could say, you You know, there's Sketchly and Smart Draw and Draw.io and all these other tools, but I still like Visio. That's why I'm still old school. Buried where? Just read the freaking tour. Yeah, but people don't read the tour. That's the problem.
That's buried if it's not explicitly told to you.
Yeah. There's the people like you said earlier. The people just get their Office 365, so they have Exchange Online. That's about as fancy as they get. Maybe they get SharePoint Online too, right? So they have their intranet in the cloud. You know, that's probably as far as they get. But the only thing they really care about is, do I have Word? Do I have Excel? Do I have PowerPoint? Oh, yeah, great. That's still a triumvirate. You know, an Outlook, well, you know, it's kind of a given.
That's adorable that you think people read.
No, yeah. She's giving people way too much credit. That's, yeah, she goes, it's so hard, right, to actually take a moment and read. And that's the thing. People are not, if people have to look for it and take notice, then you've already failed. You have to freaking put your balls in someone's chin for them to take notice. That's really what companies have to do now. Teabag you so you can't avoid it. That's what marketing is now. It's a clam bake or a tea bag, whichever way you want to do it. Whatever your pipes you got.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange. There you go. You know, but that's really it. And then then there's the people that might try to like dabble into it, but it's too much friction, right? Because you have to learn, or they don't set it up right, and then they just give up. You know, and that's really that. It helped us in a nutshell, exactly. Bro, why doesn't it work? Because you didn't set it up. Can't you do it for me? Seriously, yeah. IT is the Donna man. Yep. Hand holding, and that's why we'll always have jobs, because people are lazy. Never discount laziness. Even with the software as a service trend, there's still jobs being created. That's the thing that's baffling. You would think it would, all this automation and everything, all this stuff getting taken away off of IT's plate, you would think there'd be less work out there, but there's still more jobs being created. That's the thing that's crazy. You know, all it does is just shift the needle. Something else is gonna break.
Yeah. I like what I'm doing. I'm okay with it for now. Eventually, I'm sure I'll have to go work at one of the server farms instead of at an in-house location, but
like a rack space type deal.
Yeah, I'll probably have to get a couple of Dell certifications for their server side stuff, but
yeah, that could be a cool job.
That's already stuff I know. Going around doing maintenance, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing with that is, depending how big the company is, you might have to travel a lot. Like, you won't be assigned to just a single server farm, you know?
That's fine. A couple of the people the vendors I've dealt with, they'll do anywhere from northern Jersey to northern Connecticut, so that's a pretty big chunk, but
So you get to enjoy the great offerings of the armpit of the U.S.
no, that's Detroit.
No, Detroit's too far inland to be an armpit. It'd be more like a bald spot.
It's like that spot in the middle of your back that you can't quite scratch.
Oh God, yes. Everyone has that spot, I guess. That's a good metaphor. I like it. A plus. If you use that, remember you have to pay royalties to Taylor over here.
$20.
We need to set up like some kind of like scraping script that will like detect that bit in text and audio form. You know, automated things like, oh, royalties, you owe us, or not. We send if they don't pay us royalties, then cease and desist letter goes out.
That sounds good. I like it. That's a good get rich quick scheme.
Well, work for Pat Riley. He coined the term 3P, and none of his teams ever got a 3P. And that's brilliant.
That's very good.
It's smart. It's like, hey, If I'm gonna be a loser, I might as well make it profitable. Oh shit! She said Twitch won't let her keep her IB Loud name. What?
Your account got locked out of? That sucks.
Oh lord. She just came up with some much more specific bit of imagery. She said Detroit's more like the pimple on the ball sack. Ouch. No. No me gusta.
So we're gonna pivot for a second. The I got the new iPhone 8.
You mentioned that, I think.
I'm trying to figure out why everyone made such a big deal about wireless charging.
Uh,
I don't understand. It's like a shitty gimmick. It's worse than the Wii motion controls as far as gimmicks go.
really?
Yeah.
That's quite a statement there.
Say your phone's charging
Yeah.
and you get a text message. What do?
You pick it up.
Yeah. And guess what happens when you pick up your phone? It stops charging.
Yeah. Because it needs to be within close proximity.
Well, I know the 7 Plus was good enough for less, but my phone broke, so I was left to whatever the AT&T store had at the moment. So I got the iPhone 8.
Somewhere out there, at some point, someone's gonna take all the old phone designs that people made and like bring them back to life at a fraction of the cost of what phones are going for now. And they'll probably make a killing. Bring back the Razor, bring back the old StarTAC, some of the old Nokias, some of the old Qualcomm phones, nice brick phones with pull out antenna.
I couldn't do the insurance claim because I was repairing a internal part that had broke. And then the part that I used to replace it broke into the logic board, so I couldn't get it out of the logic board. So, yeah.
Damn.
I fucked myself with that one. That's fine.
Oh yeah, she just reminded me that they do have the retro Nokia. I'm just saying, someone, just a company that just puts out these old designs, right, and just basically said "fuck you" to all these smartphone companies. This phone's indestructible, and it's simple, and it's only costs you $5. Enjoy.
I'd say give it about 5 to 10 years. The kid's born in like the mid to late 2010s. They'll be bored of technology by the time they're old enough to consume stuff, so we'll go back to fucking wood carvings and smoke signals.
Yeah. And they'll be ironically retro, I guess.
No, it won't be ironic because there'll be nuclear fallout and that's all that's left.
Oh. Well, that'd be a funny joke to someone. The one guy that has this fallout shelter and all the supplies forever.
He's downloaded all of the iTunes podcast library so that he has something to listen to.
Oh god, but then the joke's on him because then he like downloaded mostly HorsePLAY Live episodes and they were all the QUICKIE episodes. Like, no! I'm stuck with Yogi for the rest of my life. It's like, it kind of reminds me of one of the classic Twilight Zone where the guy's like super happy at the end of the world because he's got all these books, no one's bothering him, no one's picking on him for being a nerd, and he's just enjoying the time of his life, all the time in the world to consume all the knowledge he ever wanted to pursue, right? All the fictional works he ever wanted to enjoy, right? And then
he breaks his glasses.
Yeah. Oh god.
Which all you have to do is, if you're blind and there's no one else around you, or he had glasses so you could semi-see, just stumble around until you find your way to some type of eye doctor or some type of pharmacy of some variety that would have the little cheat readers.
That's true.
Get yourself a couple of those, and then you can go read a book on how to make your own glasses.
See, See that? That's terrible foresight for someone so well learned, you know?
Not a very good problem solver, it would seem.
Like, I would have a whole shit ton of spare glasses along with the other supplies I have just in case.
Oh yeah, if I'm as blind as that guy is, I would have a backup pair just in case.
Yeah. Oh, she says no. They established in the story that his glasses were that bad. She remembers. See, she was ready. She was ready for you. Yeah, he had the thick old glasses that make your eyes look huge. But still,
Yeah.
you know, even though there's plot holes, what a great, you know, ending. Like all those like little. That's what I love about classic Twilight Zone. Those little gut punch endings. Like, oh shit. See, that's fucked up.
Like Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror is pretty good at capturing that magic too. Yeah. I've also been enjoying Butcher's Block, but that's more like a American Horror Story kind of format. But another classic episode, the one where the aliens, you know, come to Earth and they give, you know, humans all these cures to diseases and all this wonderful stuff, right? And what was it? What was the twist? They the humans found a cookbook, and it's like the best recipes in the universe. And then someone finally realized after translating it correctly that there was a book on how to cook humans, and all the human beings that were going to their planet to visit, they were eating us. That's right. See, she said it there too. That's right. They were eating us. I'm like, no, you're not going to visit. That's a one-way trip.
Well, I mean, what could a intergalactic species have any need for us for?
Yeah. I mean,
Travel.
you gotta
They can
figure.
travel galaxies.
Yeah.
They can travel galaxies.
I see what you're saying, or maybe like, you know, their technology is so good they can synthesize whatever they want. There's no point in conquering anything. They just want to meet people and just chill. Like, yo, come hang out in the intergalactic pool with me. I'll let you see my balls. You know.
But that's not how nature works.
I know.
They would be out there conquering.
Who knows? Maybe at some point there'll be some really advanced society that won't be full of douchebaggery.
That's not how it works. Even AI conspire to kill everything.
Oh, gosh, you're such a pessimist. Killing me, Smalls. And don't say you're pragmatic. I don't want to hear that.
I was gonna say I'm a realist.
Okay, it's about the same thing. So it's no different than us eating antelope here in the States. I gotcha. Or believing whale sperm will cure AIDS. You really tweet about other cultures here on Earth and the stupid shit they do, like grinding up the bones of albino and selling it as magic does. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's some. There are some insane things that people latch onto and believe.
Oh man, superstition does die hard.
Look at any Chinese mysticism.
Yeah.
Say, really? I don't think that the bones of a tiger are going to do anything for you. No, grind them up and smoke them.
I'm not even going to repeat that. Oh my god. If only that were true, it would solve so many problems. That's pretty good. And I think on that note, I think that's a good stopping point right there. Once it starts getting sexual, you don't want to, and late, yeah, we probably don't want to go down that road. Geeky antics after dark.
No different than before dark.
And, it can actually get worse and raunchier, believe it or not. Yeah, stranger. Thanks for the chat, and you still got my number. Text me sometime.
We are in Discord too. You can always come hang out.
Yep. See, and she's so mysterious.
It's less of a chat room and more like a message board, but yeah.
Yeah, we're kicking the old school. It's become forums. Ah, she's about to say no, I don't. Oh, now I do. Oh yeah, that's the server. This is the handy dandy server link. This is for everybody. geekyanswers.net/Discord. There you go. There's a command for that too. Oop. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up the show here, and we'll pull all the music in post-production. Just real quick, if you want to reach us, you can reach me at Yogizilla on Twitter, Yogizilla on Xbox Live. Taylor, where can people find you?
Find me Twitter there at Beard and Hat, and you can find me on Twitch, Taylor7, Monday nights and Thursday nights.
Nice. One last question for you.
Yeah.
What's the weather like up in Connecticut?
It was 70 degrees.
What the fuck? Today it was hot as ball. It was in the high 80s. I'm like, isn't it technically still winter?
Technically, yes, but we're just getting a little brief taste of what next month will bring us.
What the shit? And right now,
I'm okay with it.
Honestly, right now, I'm about to just go outside and have a couple of cigarettes and nice cool air. For some reason, all the heat from the middle of the day is just lingering in my house. It's pretty freaking annoying.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah. See, good call. And folks, we'll see you next week. Hopefully on the same bat channel, same bat time. What it's supposed to be, which is Thursday at 11. But we'll have to talk offline to see if there's a better time for everybody. Because we keep missing War Child 2. He said Wednesday doesn't work, and that's when he does Warbound Radio. Make sure you check out his show. And don't forget to listen to B-Team Podcast and, of course, the Gaming Death Podcast. Gaming Death also they have their Twitch channel, Gaming Death. That's all the plugs I got for now. I think it's time to go. So let's say bye. Bye!
Get out of here.